Thank you very much, Combat Wombat, for the $20 donation. Good morning, GDQ! Look alive, people. Thank you very much, Gizmo, for the $10 donation. $10 for the awesome dude dancing in the audience. You really made my day.
Great tunes, what can I say?
And it looks like we are ready for our next run, which will be Guacamelee 2, being run by... All right, did I say we were ready? That was just a joke, just keeping you guys on your toes. Thank you very much, Sweet Beeps, for the $50 donation. Good luck on your run, Bobby. It's always a pleasure to watch you play, and it's even better to see on this big stage. All right. Now then, it looks like we are ready for Guacamelee 2, being run by TheBlacktastic. For reals.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the start of a really, really good indie blog. This is Guacamelee 2, but before we get back into the game, I'm going to let my couch introduce themselves.
My name is Vulajin.
My name is Grimelios.
And I'm Abision.
And over there is my dude, Dr. Fat Body. You've seen him from the Sonic 1 race, the groundbreaking race of yesterday. Yeah, give it up for Fat Body. So he's here with me as emotional support because we became the homies. But I think now it's time to get into some guac. You guys ready?
Heck yeah.
All right, counting off in 3, 2, 1, go. So previously on Guacamelee, implying that there was a Guacamelee game before this or something. This slightly recounts the final moments of the first Guacamelee, where you're supposed to defeat Carlos Calaca because he's planning on merging both the worlds of the living and the dead by sacrificing the president's daughter. Weird flex, but okay. So you're gonna be seeing a little bit of like shades of like Rondo of Blood into Symphony of the Night here. So you'll get a solid first form with Calaca, and then you'll see him transform into this hulking beast, which we're probably gonna be beaten down anyway.
I guess theoretically there's a lot of spoilers here for the first game. Oh well.
We don't know who she is, but she's suffering apparently.
President's daughter. Sir Lupita. There we go. Good old playtime's over. Grant me power.
He's begging.
So when you're in a prologue with Juan, you get most of the human abilities that you would get in the first Guacamelee game. As you can see, I'm laying on him with the Olmec headbutt, which is the fastest way to deal DPS to this guy besides these little asteroids, and I'm really glad that we had such a string of those fall down. So yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. This
All right.
cannot be!
All right, GG, dude, grats.
Yeah, we beat Guacamelee 1. Faster than you did.
Yeah, much faster.
But yeah, a little bit of the special moves. You have the Olmec headbutt, which is your neutral B. You have the frog slam, and all of these are used to break the colors of enemy shields, little obstacle blocks that you get kind of faced with, especially early on through the game. And then there's this little sad scene. However, before we get into the actual meat and potatoes, I want the couch to explain a little bit of the major game-breaking glitch in this game that we're going to be using.
Yeah, sure. So we started here in this prologue, and we had all sorts of abilities, all the human abilities that Juan had in the first game. And boy, those are nice, and it would sure be great to have them. So we
We don't
have.
have the mask anymore. We don't have the mask anymore.
I know it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough going, but we can make it because we have the power of glitches and cheating. I mean, not cheating. So we have a glitch called Select Door Glitch that we're gonna be doing. What is that, Grim?
Yeah, so select door glitch is pretty one of the most important tricks in this game for a handful of reasons. We're explaining it early because it goes by very fast once you see it.
Yep.
What select door glitch is a bit of precise menu manipulation in order to accomplish a handful of core goals, and I'll actually toss back to you for that.
Yeah, so it's a Metroidvania, right? And there's two things you gotta do in a Metroidvania. One is to get the skills that you need to navigate the world, and then two is to get to the places that you get the skills at and then beat the game. And we're gonna circumvent both of those with Select Door Glitch. So we're gonna be able to get back our abilities from the prologue by kind of warping out of the prologue. And we're also going to be able to circumvent some of the travel by just warping around using Select Door Glitch. So the first one you're going to see here in just a little bit as we kind of wander around with Dadbot Juan here is we're gonna be warping back into we're gonna start a new game actually, like an actual new file on a separate slot, and we're gonna use that to warp back to Pueblucho basically.
Yeah, that's right. This takes place, what, 7 years after the end of what you just saw, I think?
7-year time skip. Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to skip through some dialogue. Not much here. You kind of mash A as fast as you can, wait for the dialogue boxes to pop up, and then Bobby's going to run off to the left through the agave field and eventually into Pueblucho, where we're quickly going to come up to a door, which is where the select door glitch is performed. When you see it, it's going to go by fast, and as Vulajin mentioned, you're going to see Bobby start a new game, but before it even fades away from black, he's going to exit and effectively warp back to the same spot. So it's sort of a back and forth detour. The side effect of which is that we'll be able to effectively pilfer all of those skills from the prologue along with a lot of health and stamina. As we said, pay attention to how fast this goes by in just a moment when we get to the door.
If I get it on the first try.
Nah, you're fine.
No pressure.
So what he's actually going to do, what the glitch actually is he's going to open up a glitched main menu from inside the game here by opening up the map and the menu at the same time. There it is. He starts a new game, exits game, and instead of going back to the main menu, he now has all these abilities, and he loads in. And now we're just breaking this barrel with all these abilities that we have.
This is normally much slower. You do get these skills back, by the way. We're just short-circuiting that process.
Yes.
One of the human abilities that you could not actually demonstrate in the prologue is the dimension swap, which is why we have this little warp to fade to black here. When you're in the world of the dead using the dimension swap, a lot of the NPCs are actually only in one plane, the plane of the living. So when it despawns them like that, it actually skips their dialogue in the upcoming cutscene, making this a little bit faster.
I guess at this point, you might want to just say a word about the story, since this is where it gets set up.
Yeah, sure. So the story of this game, it's entirely memes.
Accurate.
I
Memes.
I'm not even kidding, as we can see here. These things, these objects float by. There's a bowl of guacamole. I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything.
Is this Guacamelee?
Well, it is an indie block, right?
Right here, by the way, you can see Bobby using some of those skills, which look kind of funny at the moment, to bypass some additional dialogue. You get hit by a spider that you're supposed to go through the door before it hits you.
I'm grinding along this rail here.
That's my favorite part.
There we go.
Oh, jeez. By the way, if you speak Portuguese, you're going to really enjoy some of the text in this game.
El presidente has been kidnapped by ninjas. Are you a bad enough hombre to rescue el presidente? No, we're not, really, actually. We're still dead, but we gotta suit up real quick. We're to buffer a dimension swap into here to despawn White Chivo, thus making the cutscene a bit faster.
White Chivo's a pretty important character, huh? There's a couple of him.
There's a lot of him.
More than a few.
actually.
All right, so a little more SDG here. We are going to start another new file. We're going to quit again, and this is now the file we will actually do the speedrun with.
The Sprolic one.
We're back to our original form, rather than a Dadbod one.
Instead of running along the ground, I'm actually doing roll jumping, which actually, it's kind of like a dash jump. Say, like for like the Mega Man X games, you actually preserve your speed when you roll, when you cancel that into a jump.
Abby, how are you doing?
I'm gonna survive.
So So this is one of the introductory level stages, Los Manglares. It'll introduce you to a whole bunch of like enemies and breakable blocks that you're supposed to, but since we have dimension swap, those aren't supposed to actually be there. But since we have the ability from the prologue to swap between the planes of the living and the dead, we can effectively skip most of this stage.
This is also the first sort of legitimate combat encounter we're seeing. You'll see a lot of these. It's a small little area that walls you off on either side. Unsurprisingly, you have to defeat all the enemies before you get out. There are some specific ways in which Bobby is defeating these enemies tied to the upgrade system. That will flesh out a little bit later.
What was the donation bid war winner?
Well, it was close, but the winner is Tostada.
Tostada. So Tostada, prominent in Guacamelee 1, the guardian of Juan's mask. So a lot of the abilities that he has, well, she innately gets. You can also play as her when you're doing like 2-player modes, dropping co-op and what have you.
Solid dodges.
Yes, Tostada had 1,200. Xtebe had 1,035. Thank you very much to everyone that donated.
Dang, that's quite a bit.
Thank you very much, guys.
So something interesting that Bobby's focusing on as we're going through some of these arenas is he does actually want to specifically kill enemies with his special moves. Aside from the fact that they deal a crap ton of damage, he's going to actually want to upgrade them later on. There's going to be like an upgrade system that you're going to be able to purchase new ranks of those various attacks, and specifically the headbutt is the one that he really cares about. He's going to need to do a total of like 25 of those and kill enemies having done headbutts to them over the course of the run. So he's just kind of getting a head start on them. He's making use of Goatfly as well, just because it does the most damage of any attack.
I thought it was headbutt, but it is actually Goatfly.
And then we're coming up to a pretty important SDG point here, if I can effectively get there.
All right.
We mentioned you'd be seeing this a lot.
Yeah, so there's a complicated sequence of things that he's doing here, and he's clicking OK on that options menu so he can get back. The short version of what just happened there is that he is able to get the game to store or remember this zone. So right now, there's a special like bit of something in the game that says, hey, if you are to pause and you were to go to exit game, it is going to take you back to Los Manglares, the zone that he's currently in, rather than taking him to the main menu. And that is persistent. Like, that's not going to go away until he quits the game, which he's not going to do. So that means that later on, if he needs to come back here, for example, I don't know, to backtrack after completing a dungeon.
It is a Metroidvania.
Just start an exit, and it'll get you there.
Ran out of stamina there. So we're coming up to one of our first dungeons of the game that we're seeing in 80%, the Jade Temple. As you can see, there are some really cute characters there. Whitebeck, who is actually a boss in this game that we don't fight until later, and El Muñeco, who is the cutest and he loves you. He's the main boss that we're going to be facing. The Jade Temple is one of the first amount of showcases of like a string of arena fights, as we kind of seen headed up through Los Manglares. The thing you want to take care of when it comes to upgrading your abilities is that you want to take care of your combo meter. So the combo meter in this game, as long as you hit an opponent with your special moves in a string without getting hit, then your combo meter will just go up. And once they die, all of those special moves that you used in that combo will actually count towards your upgrades. So even though I'm not necessarily hitting anything, oh, I actually did that wrong. As long as I'm not being hit, the combo counter will not reset. And I get those sweet upgrade points.
Yeah. Worth noting, by the way, there is some RNG, sort of limited RNG on these fights. So Bobby knows what he's doing in terms of where enemies are spawning, but still has some reaction to do. Just generally.
Sadly, a lot of these arenas are not really skippable in any particular way. Some of them will be, so we'll call those out as we're getting to them, but a lot of them, like, you just walk in and you got to do some fighting. This actually, kind of distinguishes it against, some other types of Metroidvanias where you can kind of skip most of the combat and just focus only on exploration. Guacamelee is intentionally a very combat-heavy game because it's, it's themed around luchadors, right?
For sure, it's the brawler game, much like I am the Blacktastic.
What's this guy's name again?
I have no clue. It's in Portuguese, man.
That's fair, that's fair.
By the way, we actually use the Portuguese language because it actually has less text boxes to scroll through, thus making the experience a bit faster. This big skeleton guy actually does want to lend a hand, though.
Nice. Well, so you're supplementing the puns. This skeleton guy makes a lot of really good puns, but unless you reach Portuguese, you're not going to catch them.
I don't actually know how the localization is in this game, but if you speak Portuguese and you want to donate to let us know how good the localization is, I would be very curious.
There's a little tricky part coming up here.
Nice. And
close.
not as nice.
Let's try. Third verse? Nope.
This is the one.
This is the one. There we go.
Beauty.
Nice.
There.
If it wasn't apparent, these cycling bars swap the living and dead worlds wherever they are.
That was impressive, Bobby. You missed every
I
single
missed
one.
Ever heard of tilt before, guys?
Oh, goodness. You can already see that some enemies have the effect of swapping between the worlds of the dead or the living, or just only being in one of the two. So you got to manage that. And normally in this dungeon, there are just portals that are already there that you use to manage that. But in our case, we kind of skipped that whole thing by having dimension swap already.
So this is a little bit of like a timed arena. We're gonna have to wait a little while for like all of the enemies to like file on through. Yeah, there we go. So it's a really good opportunity to like rack up the upgrade points, especially for the old mech headbutt and the rooster uppercut. Whenever you do upgrade a skill within a skill tree, you automatically get your health and stamina refilled. So I'm gonna be saving a couple of those, especially for the oncoming dungeons, which is actually the final dungeon in the game. So it's an extreme test of stamina and strength.
It's nice you have so much stamina.
Oh.
I do always enjoy those little flippy movements to try to get those nice go fly spots.
All right, upcoming here, El Muñeco's little chickens want to lure us into a trap, aka an arena, but we're just going to bypass this after we skip the cutscene.
I appreciate that the dialogue is just coco, coco. Like they didn't bother writing any actual dialogue for the chickens. They're just like, no, you can't understand them. They're chickens. Like,
There we go.
Nice skip.
So you can see these little shadow hazards like flowing at me. They're actually supposed to be death traps, and I just kind of like did that to demonstrate it. But since we do have the dimension swap, it just essentially makes this a cakewalk. There we go. These guys are actually a bit of a pain. Any enemy that has these bright, either orange or purple aura to their attacks, those are completely unblockable and undodgeable. So we just don't want to get hit with those at all.
it occurs to me that we didn't explain Eagle Boost. So if you're familiar with the first game, there's a bunch of different skills, all of which he's using. There's the uppercut, there's the frog slam, there's the headbutt and so on. But the new one in Guacamelee 2 is the Eagle Boost, and that thing right there that he just passed by, that little eagle. Perfect. You can grab onto those and basically like grapple on them, similar to grapple beam, I guess, in Super Metroid. Is the best parallel.
There's also, when you use those Eagle Boost points, there is some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? You can sort of boost off them and maintain your momentum.
Yeah.
In certain spots, it will be used for faster movement, since, this is a speedrun, after all.
No! Oh, come on.
What was that? Jeez.
I don't want to get hit, man. There we go.
So by the way, Bobby, what's the objective in this dungeon? Where are we going?
We're going to fight the boss, fight El Muñeco. More specifically, a little bit more into the story of this game. So you're in the darkest timeline. So when we, yeah,
We
I know,
sure
right?
are, dude.
I know, right? So when we completed the prologue, that Juan and all of those characters are part of the good or best timeline, to where Kalak is defeated, and I think I need a micro USB. My controller died. Uh-oh.
I don't have one on me.
God, all mine are up in my room.
How fast can you run?
All right. I see tech desk people like scrambling. So do you know the keyboard and mouse or the keyboard and controls?
Nope.
All right. Well, we're gonna learn it.
Thank you very much, Boney C, for the $20 donation. Hey, Bobby, good luck on the run. Can't wait for that sweet swag chicken.
Yeah, it's a micro USB.
Oh, and don't forget to pick up some avocados. We're out.
That's a mini. Or sorry. Yeah, that's a mini. I need a micro.
You're doing great, Bobby.
This is so good.
Supposedly.
I'm so happy this happened.
It's okay. We're still making an underestimate. Don't worry. Don't
Oh, yeah.
worry. You're not.
Well, that's not a huge concern. Oh my goodness.
Oh, these guys, if you ever see an enemy or object with a big purple outline, it means that it cannot be dodged.
Yo.
For obvious reasons, that means it's more difficult to not get hit by like that.
We're going to do the speed run of plugging in this fan-dangled USB before I die. How about that? 90%.
You can see exactly how much health he has here, though, because, like, you know, from doing that prologue skip, oh, God, okay. It is a little bit scary right now.
All right. Thank you.
We're good. Yeah. Shout outs to the tech crew for finding a cable.
God bless you,
very,
tech guys.
Very short notice. Oh, goodness. So this dungeon is, that's the Jade Temple, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. We got this. We have one final cutscene before one final segment, and then we're going to be fighting the boss. This next segment is a little bit of like an auto scroller, so we're probably gonna have some like donations be fed through. But I just want to kind of say like how beautiful like this next area is. It's kind of like reminiscent to the Cave of Wonders from like Aladdin's games, the Aladdin games. Super Nintendo only though. But yeah, the wonderful, the incomparable, the ever so hot Cave of Wonders. So yeah, you can go ahead with some donations if you'd like.
Thank you very much, Sermi, for the $50 donation. Bobby, keep being amazing. Cheers.
This whole run's been amazing so far.
Thank you very much, Hype, for the $20 donation. Bobby, it's your boy, Hype. I just want to say how proud myself and the rest of us here in Cleveland are that you represent our great city. I can't think of anyone more deserving to be asked to come back to GDQ. Best of luck in your run, and good luck to all the future runners. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for the $100 donation. Had to donate during my favorite Metroidvania series of all time. Thank you very much, Corpsion, for the $10 donation. I played Guacamelee 1, and it was fantastic. I should play the second one sometime soon. Can we get some hype for this amazing soundtrack?
Oh, yeah.
Soundtrack is pretty amazing.
It's so good, dude.
I'm actually gonna start like humming along when we get out of this Jade Temple.
After the boss theme, dude, it's gonna be in my head the whole time.
Boss theme slaps too. So yeah, you can actually use Dimension Swap to kind of alter the little phases of the rotating lava.
Yeah, I guess if you didn't have Dimension Swap, this would be more like more cycle based. Like you could lose or save a lot of time here by doing optimal movement. But since you have Dimension Swap, you can just catch whatever cycle you want.
Thank you very much, Kip, for the $10 donation. Gotta donate a bit more after Blacktastic kept running after the chicken Illuminati took out his controller.
Thank you for that. Skeleton friends stomping everybody else out. We just got one more room, guys.
Thank you very much, Zeppelin, for the $25 donation. Just had to donate to support a local Cleveland speedrunner. We saw you run at SGDQ and couldn't wait to catch Guacamelee 2 this morning. Best of luck.
Hey, thank you very much, man. Yeah, any Ohio and Clevelanders that you know are into speedrunning, hit me up. Like if you want to learn a game, hit me up. If you want to just play, hit me up. And here we go. The grand entrance of El Muñeco. Hello, it's me,
Soy yo. I love
El Muñeco.
I just love the personality totally comes through, even if you don't speak Portuguese. Soy yo.
Soy yo. But this boss is actually a pretty big cakewalk, especially since we have like all of our human special abilities. I'm gonna be trying to use a little bit of the goat fly and wall climb because that does the most damage. 2 hits from that will actually make him alter cycles. And it's actually completely random of where of like the corners or even in the middle that he can spawn at. This is just a sort of like auto-scroller-esque phase. He sends a lot of these unblockable chickens at you. But even if you do, it's very minimal damage that you take. I guess it's just him sending a message, you know?
I think the designers were probably expecting you to get hit by like 80 of these, and so you can just do that.
But the most appropriate message is that El Muñeco loves you. It's really good that he spawned a little bit of those Eluxes there so I can also work on my upgrade for the Rooster uppercut and the KO headbutt. We're gonna go through another one of these other auto-scroller segments.
Shout out to this song.
Song slaps, man. Also, if you feel threatened at any time by one of these, and you have, you know, glitched out the game, you can just dimension swap and just completely clear. Like this probably isn't even a boss. But he does like Pac-Man. Who likes Pac-Man?
Wacka, 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 wacka.
All right, so 2 more go flies and should be done. Oh, it's a pretty close call there.
Awesome. Nice.
Very nice.
That's some very favorable RNG there. Oh.
So Salvador, who's the head honcho, the big chungus of this game, sends these little what? What? You're gonna see how big that chungus is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big chungus. But he sends his henchmen around these little temples to gather reliquias, or little relics. You grab 3 relics and you create the sacred nacho chip in order to. This story is.
That's not even like, you're not making a portion.
Yeah.
That's literally the story.
Yeah, you can assemble the Triforce to get the nachos that you eat the guacamole with.
All right, but here's the most important thing of this dungeon is that we get boil power. We get the ability to turn into a chicken. This is kind of more akin to the morph ball in like a Super Metroid.
So hey, remember a long time ago we set our select door glitch so that we stored or remembered Los Manglares as the zone. Well, hey, guess what? When we paused and exited from the Jade Temple, we are right back here into Los Manglares.
Yeah, it eliminates a lot of backtracking. The thing about objectives in this game is it doesn't matter about the journey. The destination matters. The objective matters. Oh, also we get the ability to swap hop. It's one of my favorite abilities, allowing you to exploits, allowing you to gain infinite height. So you can climb, you can get stuff pretty early, especially since this is mostly a collectathon game for those 100%ers out there. But we're coming up in here to pretty much outfit our Boyo with an array of special moves. This is pretty new in Guacamelee 2. Boyo didn't really have much time to shine in the original games, but we have a lot of special moves like the Boyo shot, which is actually one of the greatest ways for us to travel.
Reminder that every time you see Bobby pause and exit, it's a fake exit, which is actually going to teleport us, and that's due to the effectively glitched state of the game by activating select or glitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our quit button essentially just becomes our continue button at that point.
So there's also an important aspect of select or glitch that we can talk about now, because you saw that Bobby twice did a pause and exit. Here's a third time that took him to different sections of Los Manglares. So this one in particular took him back to like the beginning of the area. Now he's back in the agave fields, and he's going to trigger a save here at the edge of this screen. You see the autosave icon pops up. He's paused and quits again. It takes him to a totally different part of Los Manglares, which is right next to the entrance to Villa Chula, the next area. So what's happening there is that the game has a number associated with the last place that you saved, the last save that you triggered. And based on that number, when you do the pause and exit and go to the stored location, the remembered zone that was Los Manglares, it's going to take you to different parts of Los Manglares, and that's how you're able to teleport around, basically.
We spent a lot of time researching SDG last night.
Abby's the one who had to explain to us how, like, the intricate details of how it actually worked. We're just here to look pretty and try to make it make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No.
So the next area that we're going to be going into is the Badlands. But before we do that, I'm going to do an additional SDG right here. Since Villa Chula is our main hub town, I kind of want to have a save file that's directly attuned to that, so I can come back to it at any time. So it's just a little bit of file swapping here. This is technically Prologue 1. I don't have Poyo Power. I don't have any of that. So this is just solely for the location to be stored.
And if you're having one of those moments where you're looking and be like, wait a second, isn't he using like different files? Like, what's going on here? Well, at the beginning of the run, you could see that all 3 of his files were totally clear. He has no save data at the start. So he started a new game and then just kept making new files. So everything has been done during this one timer. And so it's basically still all part of the same run. So it's all being counted in the total time here.
Also worth mentioning that Pollo shot, which you just saw, the sort of diagonal shot by this chicken, is the fastest form of movement that we have at the moment.
Right.
So you might have seen in Villa Chula that we kind of like had like invisible cutscenes. So those were actual trainers that we needed to talk to in order to unlock our skill trees. Actually, the game doesn't let us progress at all until we talk to them. So that unlocks our ability to upgrade all of our abilities, including the headbutts and all of our human abilities, as well as Pollo abilities. Whoop. Gotta activate the Serena here. But since we unlocked one of the trees, we can upgrade our super headbutt. As you can see, it will do a considerably massive amount of damage. And this is only the first one.
Yeah, worth mentioning, we mentioned that there were multiple upgrades for these abilities, and you have that counter of enemies that you've defeated using that skill. That counter will continue, but you need to unlock stage 1 before you can start accumulating towards stage 2, which is why it's unlocked now.
And particularly, stage 2 requires 20 enemies to be killed after headbutting them, so it's a pretty decent amount of time investment. Or enemy investment. So another SDG here that we're setting up. Loading up our file there, and just a quick warp back after you triggered a cutscene there?
If you don't understand SDG, that's okay.
That's completely fine.
It's complicated.
Most of the runners of this game don't. There's a route that very smart people were able to figure out, and they can kind of just play that.
Yeah, I just play the game, man.
I've speedrun this game twice at GDQs, and I didn't understand it until last night. That's the truth. And I still don't understand it.
This is the fastest form of travel. We got some good impressions going on back there in the crowd.
The Pollo shots also only use half of a stamina circle, so you can just spam that to your heart's content.
So earlier in the run, we mentioned that it's all about the destination and not the journey, which is why we're backtracking through to places that we've already been before, because these select indices actually are tied with one another when we do STD. So we end up in here, which is like the second temple, technically, that we're supposed to be completing, but we can actually skip this.
So this one, we're gonna, again, load up this file, and we're gonna once again kind of set our progress a little bit forward so that we can kind of advance the game. As for why that happens, still magic to me.
It is magical. Back in Los Manglares now, so, you know, jam out to this music once again.
Whoop. Oh, oh, oh. Yo soy pollo. Yo soy pollo. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Yo soy pollo. Pollo, oh, oh, oh. All right, never mind. But
Okay, that's totally normal.
this is actually one of the trickiest SGDs to kind of maneuver in the game, so I'm just going to let Couch talk about it for a bit.
Yeah.
Abby, you're the one that knows this one.
Oh my god. I actually don't.
Oh, God.
I ran the game before the new route.
Okay. Well, my understanding is we're trying to carry this further into El Infierno, which is actually tough and seems a little rough in case you accidentally menu a little bit too early. But he wants to trigger a specific, like, this save, then load up a different file, the one that's saved in Villa Chula. Then he's going to do another SDG here.
Just so that start quit warp that we're doing is tied to Villa Chula, no matter like what save file we go through.
Yeah. That's how I think about SDG is you can manipulate both the zone that you warp to and the specific location within that zone.
Right.
And so that's why sometimes you make these detours just to touch a single save point or load a save file just to be in a different place.
All right, now he's got a little bit of an encounter with El Diablo, which progresses the story. Like, there's basically a number in the game that's like, how far are you progressed? And he just got it to increase, to be like, yep, you're doing the thing in El Infierno. And now he's back in Villa Chula thanks to the SDG that he just set up a moment ago, and we're going to get to see the next cutscene here in just a few.
Yeah, but since we kind of knew after the next cutscene, we're going to be landing somewhere around Pueblucho, somewhere around, I mean, I don't want to really spoil that much. But we do want to return to this point later on.
So now, once again, so if you do the select or glitch and you do any of starting a new game, continuing an existing game, or opening up the options menu and confirming it, all three of those things will cause the game to store or remember that zone that you're currently in. And then anytime at all, anytime that you trigger a save of any sort, then it'll also remember or store that number that's associated with that particular save. So those are the two mechanisms of select or glitch, and that's how we can manipulate stuff. So right there, his goal was just to make sure later on, if he does start and exit, that's going to take him back to Pueblucho, and whatever that last save that he triggered will affect where in Pueblucho that he shows up.
As you can see here, Salvador has gathered the 3 tortilla chips. That's definitely not the Triforce. That's super not the Triforce. That's a chip.
Don't sue us, Nintendo.
It's a chip, you saw it. It's a pretty lengthy cutscene here, so if you have any more donations, feel free to roll through.
Thank you very much, Smokey, for the $250 donation. I'm totally not just donating for that replica sword and shield set. No, the amount is pure coincidence. Though, really, thanks AGDQ and PCF for putting this on every year. It's for a great cause, and this is like my version of the Olympics, but better. 100 goes to announcer's choice, 100 to runner's choice, and 50 goes to Tech Crew because they need love too.
Thank you, Tech Crew, for this specifically.
Indeed.
Yeah, man, shout out to Tech Crew. And also, let's get that Octopath Traveler bonus game met, guys. It's a super good game.
Indeed, and we're also just 1,000 away from the hand cam for Semblance.
Nice.
All right. Thank you very much, Bruce Nader, for the $10 donation. I had to donate. Bobby kept such good spirits even after his controller died.
I brought it back to the world of the living using Dimension Swap.
Thank you very much, Felix, for the $20 donation. What a fun run to watch. Keep on going fast, Blacktastic.
Just call me Bobby. We're friends now, right?
Thank you, Askabask, for the $5 donation. Had to donate to reward Bobby for the amazing controller switch. That takes true skill.
You're never going to live that down.
We're doing it live. So, yeah, we're trapped in this prison. This chicken of ours wants us to go one way for the escape, and that's actually pretty, I don't want to go through that.
Dude, it's fun.
Dirty.
I'm sure it's clean.
There's another one I want to go through, though, which is exactly why we set the warp point to play Blucho anyway. It leaves us just outside this. I just need everyone to, like, hold their breath for me real quick.
I'm very impressed.
So of course, as you know, when you go down the golden toilet, you end up in the secret lair of the chickens, which has a hilarious background.
You must collect all of the keys to open the important door.
Chave espacial.
Ave espacial. The grades are good.
You also get another skill right down here.
Yep. This is one of the last ones that we actually get. This is the Pollo Sly, which is used to break orange blocks and also break orange enemy shields. We don't need to talk to this guy anymore. We got what we wanted.
Back to play Blucho.
Whoop. Wrong menu. Wrong menu again. See if I can. Nope. Okay. There we go. So we're just gonna go back to our hub town right now. Whoop. These menus.
This is a precise trick.
Bobby really wants to know what skills he's got.
All right.
Okay, there you go.
Now we should start and quit, and we should end up in Villa Chula. All right. A couple more revisits to do, a couple more warps. And then we'll get on to the final dungeon of the game.
Nice swap hopping, by the way, just this whole time.
Dude, once you swap hop, you just can't stop.
So I guess we can mention what that actually is. Grim, I feel like you can do that best, having done it before.
Swap hopping, as Bobby mentioned, is an infinite jumping mechanic. In the first game, it was done by tricking the game into triggering a buffer jump that you didn't actually buffer over and over again. To be honest, on a technical level, I don't know why it works, but it involves some
magic,
some funny having to hold the controller to make it all work. A lot of muscle memory for the rhythm. That was a terrible explanation.
Yeah, probably. Well, we were all distracted by the SDG because I guess this one's really important. So he is basically going to pause and quit here after auto-saving from going to the Badlands, and it just takes him to the other end of the Obsidian Temple area, which allows him to fly directly to Isla Bonita, which is right next to the last area. And so we need to do a little more SDG here.
That's swap hop. Oh yeah, somehow we have Flutter, like even though we did not pick it up.
Sure.
Just gonna carry this all the way over here.
I guess that happened because you went into El Infierno there and did something.
Something. Like you just do one SDG and then like you just automatically have it. Like I don't.
Also, just falling through the floor. There's supposed to be a gap here, just hasn't been triggered effectively.
Let's see if
Did
it
that?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, great, sure, yeah, okay. Things happened. Now we're at the final dungeon.
Yeah. So this is the Serpent Temple. This is the final dungeon in the game. Don't worry, there are a lot more like dungeons for you to play through, like casually or if you're doing 100%. But we're just really going fast and just hitting all these objectives. However, the Serpent Temple is extremely brutal in its difficulty. It is a culmination of a lot of enemies, a lot of death traps, a lot of gimmicks that you've seen with these arenas as well. There's a lot of platforming to be done here, and again, a lot of these little death hazards here will send you right back to the beginning of the room. So definitely don't want to hit any of those there.
If you've been sitting here thinking like, man, this is, this guy is doing all these cheating glitches, this is some crap, well, good news for you because we can't skip any of this dungeon, basically. We've got to go through basically the entire thing.
This dungeon alone accounts for what, like roughly a third-ish of the entire run?
Yep.
I actually ran out of stamina, so I'm going to use that.
This arena is so...
It's a pain.
God, I hate it a lot.
It's not the most painful, but it's they're getting there.
There we go.
Boy, does that mean you didn't take damage in that entire arena? That was a pretty good combo.
I thought I got hit once.
Maybe.
Supposed to be you doing Eagle Boost, but why not when you can swap out?
Yeah, even though we just mentioned how much of the full run this dungeon takes up, you're still skipping a lot of it. Unsurprisingly, the ability to jump infinitely breaks some of the intended progression.
That's true.
No one would have guessed that, though.
No. There is no game that has ever benefited from having the ability to infinitely jump Ape Escape, Jack and Daxter 2, and 3. Just off the top of my head.
This is where some of the RNG can be a little problematic, by the way. These guys dodge kind of whenever they feel like it. Nice job there hitting the enemy up into the insta-death.
Yeah, the Olmec Headbutt has an insane amount of knockback, so you'll be seeing me use that to like launch enemies instead of the, say, the Rooster Uppercut.
I guess if it wasn't apparent, you can use some different abilities to break different colored blocks. We've been doing that for a while now.
All right, this is a pretty tough arena. The main goal is just basically bunch them all in together so they don't separate.
As you can see, there's been colored shields in all of the colors so far of Juan's human moves. That is the the red for the uppercut, blue for the dash, yellow for the headbutt, and green for the frog slam. Now we've also got them for the Pollo moves. The slide is orange and the Pollo shot is purple. So you also sometimes have to turn into a chicken during regular combat to break some of these shields.
There we go. Thank God.
Nice job.
Nice.
All right, welcome to 5-4. We're actually not going to be using that platform, though.
This game is full of an enormous number of references and a fair number of memes.
Nice. You can't say that the Drinkbox people aren't like aware of how, oh no, of how it is. Fortunately, there's an autosave right there. They do have there's a secret area in the game. I won't spoil where it is or too much about it, but it's got some self-aware references. It's pretty good.
Would you say it's pretty dank?
It's a bit dank.
This is where you start to see some of these big long snakes used for platforming.
It's actually no better way around that. This is another arena, but it's actually not arena at all. The snake guys that we saw as platforms will actually come in and attack these enemies. What I kind of want to do though is I'm still pretty low on the upgrade points, so if I start a combo and let them finish it off, it'll count towards my upgrade.
Yep, as long as he doesn't get hit during that combo, he's gonna be good.
There we go.
All right, so that's the 20 headbutts that he needed in order to get access to his level 3 headbutt upgrade, basically. So that's going to be pretty good. He's still looking for a few uppercuts, probably, in order to get the level 2 of that, and that'll be enough. The headbutt's the most important, but the uppercut will be useful in certain circumstances on the final boss.
Oh, wrong way.
These rooms all look pretty similar, so I'm assuming you just thought the same thing I did, where I was like, oh yeah, it's that other room.
I thought that too.
I mean, would you like a change of scenery?
These always remind me of the Alebrije chases from the first game. I mean, it's even sort of brightly colored in the same way.
I never noticed, but I really love the sound he makes. It does not sound at all associated with how big and large his teeth are.
They are both big and large.
Click, 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 click.
This is a pretty special arena.
Pretty special arena, but also a lot of opportunity to actually regain these skill upgrade points. But I do still have to be pretty mindful of my stamina. I don't want to necessarily waste any upgrade points through this arena. I kind of want to save them for the last boss and also another pretty tricky arena after this. So I'm actually just gonna take my time through it.
These enemies with the big circle temporarily slow down time, by the way. They don't do a whole lot, but just to mention what they do.
Did we even upgrade this yet? No.
You might want that.
And then one more uppercut. What? Wow, what a jerk. Wow, what a jerk. Out of here.
This is the strongest Esqueleto.
Oh boy.
They're just
This
dodging like
arena,
crazy.
dude.
I just want that uppercut. Jesus.
Oh, God.
We just bunch them all in up now. Nope, okay. Nope, okay. Away with you.
This is crazy.
How do you feel about this arena, Bobby?
It's not the best arena. It's not the best arena. There we go.
Oh, my gosh.
There we go. Finally.
We did actually skip breaking one block there to make it slightly faster.
Yeah, take that, guy who was upset that we were doing cheating glitches.
You seem to have a lot of angst towards this hypothetical person.
All right, hopefully in this next room we don't get hit by anything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, awesome.
Worst enemy in the game just past there, the lightning enemies.
You'll see them again before long.
This is actually...
Okay. Oh, God.
Nice. All right.
Phew.
Yeah, again, swap hopping is just like super addicting, like super free form as well. There's a bit of a strict timing to it, but once you get the rhythm down, it's great. Coming up to one of my favorite maneuvers in this room. This is called the Outback Skip House because we're gonna be pretty much skipping all of this. None of this on rails stuff.
Thought you called this the Outback Snake House last night.
Outback Snake House. Yes, I am tired. There we go. And we should land here. Awesome.
Nice job.
Again, instead of breaking shields here, I'm just gonna abuse knockback from these Poyo attacks and just put them into death hazards. Really, really useful against like the Hammer Cats and all these guys.
Yeah, you can knock back enemies even if they have their shields and they're not, strictly speaking, taking damage.
Very nice Serpent Temple so far here. That probably means you're about to die. I just cursed you.
Definitely. That means you not see that last arena.
I was really expecting you to just like goat fly directly into one of the like instant kill black holes.
Probably about to do that right now.
All right, I believe in you.
Nope. Okay.
No, we're fine.
Remember when we said this temple is a third of the run?
We're here for a while.
Still going.
Welcome to the climb.
And Bobby has already skipped a lot of it through swap hopping. It's a long dungeon.
This game does have some really like cleverly, fiendishly designed like puzzles as far as like movement and usage of your skills that are really cool to play through in your casual. A ton of the okay, so we just skipped an encounter there by dashing. That's it. Just dash.
That's cool.
But yeah, like if you play this casually, there's a lot of side areas that have chests and stuff, you know, with upgrades, and they're just like really, really fun to try to figure out. Some of them are a bit frustrating for sure, but when you get them, they feel really, really good.
This game certainly forces you to to take a lot of games that have a lot of different skills. This one, I think, does some of the best I've ever seen at really encouraging you to utilize a lot of them, often in some really clever ways, which is not easy to do, to design those kinds of puzzles.
Especially like how the Poyo is more incorporated in Guac 2 than Guac 1. You can like grab walls, you can, geez, Bobby, that is terrifying.
So more of these worst enemies in the game, right, Vula?
The community has a name for these. We can't say it on stream.
I pretty much have like all my upgrades, so kind of want to. No, okay. Let's upgrade this a little bit early. Jesus.
Yeah, so that big number above that guy's head meant that it was going to be a bad time, basically, if you let him get the counter to 0.
Yeah, it's a massive amount of damage after that charge attack, even after the fact that I have pretty much max HP.
Another snake.
Yeah, one last one of these. And then we're heading on to one final arena. A little bit more platforming, a little bit more cutscenes, and then we'll be done, guys. Especially like this little arena. Ole!
All right, good arena.
Doesn't even have time for regular stairs. Has to swap hop.
I just want to emphasize again, I think we never have been able to properly convey this in a guac speedrun at GDQ, but swap hopping is really complex and difficult. The input is like, you've got a left L1, L2, A, L1, L2, or I guess X.
It's
By the way, this
actually harder in this game
Yeah.
than in Guac 1.
This is the worst arena.
Oh yeah, this is Final Destination. I have no items. I just only have my fists.
And you're not even Fox.
But since we do have like this mega headbutt, a lot of these elites will go down in about 3 of them. So as long as we just conserve enough stamina.
Oh,
or
well,
if that guy just, you know,
that's
kind of
tremendously helpful.
sucker. All right, that's FD.
Reminder that the soundtrack is amazing for this game.
Just taking everything I have not to hum along.
Same.
A little bit more of like the ego boost, allowing you to carry momentum.
Oh,
But we're just, oh, I forgot about this room.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Any knockback in those rooms is catastrophic. You don't get back air control after you get knocked out of the air, so you just fall, and hey, guess what? There's lava everywhere.
By the way, it's also non-trivial to do these swap hops into dimension swaps. That's the thing about having a lot of skills in a game like this, is you have to use a lot of different buttons on the controller.
This game uses every button but R1, I think?
Probably.
I think R1's like for like multiplayer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're pretty much going through like the final climb before reaching Salvador, but this is also going to be like one of my more favorite sequences in the game, but not these. We don't care about those.
If they were all just a little faster.
They're trying their best, man.
Well, look, man, you tried. All right. Just going through all of this. As if you haven't seen enough of Poyo form already, get ready for the biggest Poyo. It's your boy, Mega Chicken, encroaching up in your space right here. Get into Esqueletos to run they pockets, a la Dr. Fat Body. What's going on, guys? Be sure to like, subscribe, click that little bell icon on the top right corner for up-to-the-minute dates on the Mega Chicken himself. Look at him, guys. Can I get some hype for the Mega Chicken? Can I get some hype for the Mega Chicken? Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Just look at him.
But we're just gonna get a crap ton of money from these guys. If we haven't had any of our upgrades yet, we still want to save a couple of those for Salvador so we can get some instant stamina regeneration. But other than that, here's the climb. And there's a long lengthy cutscene before this. So do we have any other donations to roll through?
Absolutely. Let's see here. Thank you very much, Task Snoop, for the $15 donation. I really enjoyed playing Guacamelee 1 and 2. Unfortunately, swap hopping was gatekeeping me from speedrunning this. Swap hopping is one of the hardest mechanics I've ever attempted in a video game, so props to the runner for making it look so easy. Thank you very much, Mr. Game & Shout, for the $10 donation. I may have missed the controller fun earlier, but there's nothing in a run that Bobby can't handle. Keep on charging, brother.
I wish this charged last night so we wouldn't have to go through this. That's definitely not the portal to the Triforce area, by the way. Definitely not a Triforce.
Thank you very much, Alan Ripley, for the $10 donation. Several-time watcher, first-time donator. Just waited for the right time to give my part to this awesome event, and Blacktastic's hilarious laughing was just the trigger. Thanks for the time you all spend each year to help to prevent cancer. Thank you very much, Ray Brum from France, for the $500 donation.
Woo!
Now, Rabram actually leaves two comments here. The first is for the US stream, which would be us. Still a great event. Keep up the good work. Always enjoyable to see a community that works to bring a better world. The other comment is for the French restream. Out of respect for the country of France, I am not going to read the comment from the French restream, as I'm not in the business of butchering beautiful languages. But thank you very much for your generosity, Robram.
That is the same reason we're not trying to read the Portuguese out.
Precisely. Just a little bit more until we roll back here.
Thank you very much, Densuo, for the $15 donation. Had to donate while my boy, TheBlacktastic, is on. Good luck to all the runners, and thank you for putting on a great show. To everyone watching, every dollar helps towards this great cause. Let's suplex cancer together.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, man. All right, so we didn't fight this boss, but this is basically a refight of YPEC. All right, versus round 2, fight. Perfect.
Tough boss.
We are quickly approaching the final boss here in El Otro We haven't really talked about what this place is, but there's a lot of portals in it.
Yeah, so the Otro Mundo is basically a realm where all of the timelines are connected together. Salvador had this little Triforce chip, and in Otro Mundo there exists this sacred guacamole that allows him to rule over all of the timelines. He's gonna take this tortilla chip and eat it!
I'm so glad you did that. Thank you.
All right, so there are a couple of phases to this Salvador boss fight. Power Spike, of which we do not face him on his own, but he does have a couple of these snake buddies. So here's an actual good reason why we wanted the Rooster Uppercut to be upgraded to begin with, is that they're extremely high up. So if we could just squeeze in like a little bit of damage, along with the main DPS of our KO headbutt, we should be able to go through this a bit. Oh my God.
Wow. They do random attacks each head, and occasionally they'll kind of do the same thing. Sometimes they'll do different things. Sometimes they'll be in sync, sometimes they won't. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Like right here, this is like, sometimes you just can't really do anything with the pattern you get, so you just take damage.
Ugh. Like
What?
Bobby's also trying to, as much as possible, deal damage equally because one head gets supercharged when the other one dies. I mean, you can't always control that, as Vula was saying, but you do your best.
Yeah, he's got them pretty even right now, but yeah, he's just not getting an opportunity to attack the right head.
oh God.
This video game.
One down. As you see, he's pretty souped up. The meteors that fly spread up this really annoying flame. Can I? Thank you.
All right. So final form here. This is Kaioken times 5 or whatever.
And he's over here talking all of this smack as he powers up, coming, "Teru me!" But it's all right.
So this is RNG the fight.
Accurate.
He goes, "Come at me, don't be a chicken." I have to be a chicken in order to break that shield, so I'm sorry. And also,
I get it.
All right, now it's just a little bit of, this guy can dodge like a pretty big jerk. He can spawn any sort of shield. Wow, he can spawn any shield at any time. What's the mix-up? But as long as we keep chaining these headbutts, he'll also swap dimensions on us. Like, he's just a really, really fickle character, and I have one safety upgrade here just so I can keep,
Yep. So as long as the boss doesn't like drop too many shields or roll around too much, it's not too bad, and then swap dimensions. But yeah, he can just do that whenever he wants. If he wants, he'll just be running around the arena for 30 seconds. Time is not on the final hit, by the way. There will still be some stuff afterwards.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a little bit of cutscene to go through. The IGT doesn't stop until that final cutscene ends.
Almost. Almost.
Oh, and come on!
Almost. There it is.
There we go.
Nice.
All right. So we're here for about another 3 minutes. This cutscene is rather long. But I also just wanted to say, like, yeah, no.
Ew.
I guess he didn't eat after all. Dude, did you guys even chew? What the? But the world is saved. All the timelines are in their rightful place. Just want to give a shout out to Drinkbox Studios for making this game, because like the original Guacamelee 1 was amazing. Like it was a perfect shape of like Metroidvania / collectathon / just run around, and also really good drop-in couch co-op game as well. Guacamelee 2 just expanded on that multiplicatively with its extreme landscape of areas, power-ups, little skill trees. Like there's a little bit of something for everybody in this game. So if you guys want to pick it up, we have a lot of help here through the speedrun.com resources. We also have a Discord where a lot of people are active. So please, like if you enjoy this game, we would love to have you with us. I love you guys. Thank you for waking up bright and early. You guys can go back to sleep after this. It's been a long week.
It is worth noting, you mentioned like how large the areas are. Like, yeah, this game is huge. The amount of stuff he skipped. Grim, you've done a glitchless run of this.
I attempted a glitchless run and I gave up.
How long was that?
I gave up about halfway through after 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
It does get a little bit ridiculous almost at times, but like that's just how much stuff, how much content, how much love they packed into this game.
Also to keep in mind, like I'm actually running on an older patch of the game. There is a lot of DLC that's come out, a lot of character skins and costumes that augment your player character's abilities. In the newest route, you actually get to play as the final boss, Salvador, in which he deals double damage, but he has an insanely slow stamina regen rate. However, it ends up being minutes faster than this route. So this probably won't be this, the last you'll see of Guacamelee.
With that final boss defeated, we've restored the timelines, which is kind of bad because Juan is still in the wrong one.
So he has to search. And then we're coming up. Well. And time.
That's really good, dude. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
106.05, final time.
Your controller also died.
My
Yeah.
controller also died. That was a pretty solid run overall. Like, I really hope you guys at home enjoyed it. I really hope that you guys that woke up here enjoyed it. Shout outs to the couch for the excellent commentary, and also, again, Mr. Fat Body, Dr. Fat Body, for that Nice support, dude. This is Guacamelee 2 by Drinkbox Studios. Go buy this game. It's available everywhere right now. Actually, just recently they announced an Xbox Play Anywhere version where if you do purchase the Microsoft product, you will on Xbox, you'll get it on PC as well. So any system that you have, even Nintendo Switch, like just pick this up, give it a playthrough, and then come talk to us when you're ready to start speedrunning it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me.
GG, dude.
Yeah,
GG.
Stay tuned for the rest of the indie block. The rest of the indie block is super, super sick. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you so much for having me, GDQ.
Yes, thank you very much, Blacktastic, for a fantastic Guacamelee 2 run.
Did anyone bring these? All right. Cool. Yep. Please don't pick up that cup from the days I made a mistake. Cloning again. Starting with some pictures. I'm probably sure I mix up which one's yours. Just please tag once you see it. Once you see it.
Double M. Yeah. What do you drink? It got me affiliate actually. Thank you. Nice, good. I kid you not. That the next day I got the email from Twitch. You had the requirements before that. I'm sure. It's only a few. It's like they just want you to stream for like 7 days. No, wow. And have 2 or 3 viewers. So you can literally park a few boxes. But yeah. So, well, I'm glad you got it. Good. Yeah, no, I got it like while I was out like the next day. Yeah, you and a bot. Metroid Master. You're usually good. Yeah. It doesn't take. It kills it 0 mission. Yeah. Kills it. Oh wow. Everybody looks. That's all I knew on this. Not a talk. I get it. So call them out. Oh no, that's like the worst thing about this. Don't call out. I get joy out of calling out. Really? She says she's sleepy.
Thank you for staying tuned to Awesome Games Done Quick. I'll be signing off for now and passing it on to the next host. But please stay tuned in, as coming up next, we will have Lightfall, being run by Fuzzy Games.
Hello everyone, my name is Smooth Operative and I will be taking over for the next few runs. I hope everyone is having an amazing, awesome Games Done Quick 2019 so far. I am just hearing that we are getting ready for Fuzzy Games to play Lightfall, so while they're setting that up, I'm going to let you guys know about an incentive that we have going on for the Semblance hand cam. We are at $6,717 out of $7,500, so just around 400 or so away for that hand cam. And you guys definitely want to see that because Half Coordinated is a very talented runner and Semblance is an amazing run. You don't want to miss it. You definitely want that hand cam. So get those donations in. In fact, we have some donations already coming in for Half Coordinated's hand cam, and I will read one for you now. We have Adrian with $20. $20 for Half Coordinated's hand cam. He is an inspiration to all of us. Greetings from Germany. Thank you very much for that, Adrian. While we're still getting set up, I'm going to read a few more donations for you. We have $20 from Anonymous that says, "Good morning, AGDQ." And what a glorious morning it is so far. Thank you. $50 from Anonymous that says, "Awesome event and awesome Guacamelee 2 run. Keep it up." $30 from Anonymous, fantastic Guacamelee 2 run. Praise the mega chicken. $25 from Tim and Paul 64. Really enjoying the run of Guacamelee 2 by Blacktastic. AGDQ is such a great event that benefits a great cause. Thanks to all the runners, crew, staff, and volunteers who give their time, energy, and talents to this wonderful event. Let's keep those donations coming in. We have $5 from Fox and Q that says, "Bobby, I first saw you on AGDQ last year and it's so cool to see you killing it again this year after getting to know you through your streams. Can't donate a lot, but I'm so grateful to everyone